Well, today's the day that we got to fix this hunk of junk. There is a lot of work to be done to this thing, and we need struts, we need brakes, we need to fix the back end. So there's a lot of things that have to be done, and today's pretty much the only day we get to work on it for the Derby. I do want to move the fire extinguisher as well, because I got bruises from that. The electrical, I might... Oh, did I leave it all hooked up? I did leave it all hooked up. Bet you my battery's dead. Jesus. There's not a whole lot of... And then I did this with the forklift, so we'll probably push that down and see what we can do with this. Maybe just cut it off. I don't know. So yeah, there's some stuff that we have to do to this thing. So let's get working on it. So here's the plan. What we're going to do is we're going to pull off this front end and see how bad things are. This car sits really low in the front and I don't really like it. So we got to figure out why. Maybe there's a broken spring or something. I don't really think there's a broken spring. We'll figure that out. And then on the back here, we got some trailing arms to fix. We got to pull sheet metal away from tires. We need new tires. We gotta maybe take off this bumper. It ain't doing nothing there no more. This here is the frame rail. Maybe we can try to pull that in and 9-wire it to itself, because I had to cut it because it was way the shit over here at the Derby. We're gonna put a come along into this and hopefully pull it that way, because the frame looks like it bent right above subframe. This side here looks all good. But I just need to get everything out of this tire is what I need to do. And then the same thing on this side. This one here looks like it's almost touching the strut. Oh, it is touching the strut. Well, that's not good. Why are you doing that? You shouldn't be doing that, man. That's wrecking the party. And then the frame is bent, so now we can start plating it as well. Rules say that we can have 8 plates per frame rail, but they must be put on bends. As far as I'm concerned, that is a frickin' bend. So I'm going to start working here on the back end, and we're going to go from there. So we got this thing up on the hoist, and we're starting to pull it apart. We're having some problems with the lug nuts, but that's fine. We'll get it figured out. So we're going to inspect. Oh my goodness, look at this strut. That's not good. The whole strut is twisting on itself, guys. This is why we don't like to run rotted struts. Look at you guys asking me why I put new struts on most of my cars. Look how close this one was to breaking. Oh my god, the bottom bolt's almost ripped all the way out. I'll have to get a light in there for you guys. That right there was how close I was to losing beaten, guys. Look at that strut. So we're going to be pulling this strut out and putting a different one in. You can't save this thing, guys. It's garbage. And look at that tie rod. Oh, no. Good thing we're tearing apart a Toyota Camry wagon that's got good tie rods on it. Okay, so we have this side done. We have to go take a look at the other side once we get the tire off. But the back of the car is going to need some work. This right here is the frame rail. So we're going to come up with the way to pull that frame rail into here. We're going to cut off this bumper and try to get it so you really can't see your gas tank through the trunk. So we'll be working on this here in a bit. This is what we have to work on today. So what I'm thinking is that I hook the come along here into this 9-wire. I just have to get space into it. And then once we get space into it, we can hook this. We can hook the come along into it. What that's going to do is it's going to pull this side away from the tire, which was I want anyway, and then we're going to hook into the actual frame over here and try to pull the whole frame over. We might have to hit it a couple times with some sludges, but see how well we get this done over here. Wow, that just kind of like clips right into the frame. It's so bad over there. Now we do have another large section of frame here, but I do have a plan for that. If everything goes the way I want it to go, I have a plan for that. So I don't know which one's going to come in So we're just pulling this thing in, and I want to point this out to you guys. A lot of you guys are probably going to comment, Zach, be careful, that chain's going to come back and whack you in the face. Well guys, I use seat belts for a lot of things. So what I do is I just tie a quick knot on the actual chain of the come along, and then I just wrap it around something. And I don't tie a knot on this side, I just wrap it, so that way it will release, but it won't break anything. So if you guys are worried about safety, don't worry. Seat belts save the day. Let's keep folding this side in. It's coming pretty good, but unfortunately this car bent above the rear sub, which is pretty damn weird. This side here is looking like garbage. The sub is actually folded on itself, which is not overly good for the situation. But yeah, so let's just keep pulling this thing in and see how far we can get. I'd like to get this touching this, is what my final goal would be for this. Well, I had some people come over and distract me, but it doesn't look great. I'm going to be openly honest with you guys. Kind of looks like shit. But it's got a bumper on there now. Is it going to stay on there? No idea. We did fix this trailing arm over here. Just the same thing we do every time, just a little nut and put that in there. But what we're going to be working on now is we're going to be working on this front end. So what we got to do is we got to change out this strut, because that's no good. Let's go take a look at the other side strut. This one looks okay. It looks like it's still rubbing. So we need tie rod and strut on driver's side. Well, just by happen chance, we have a tie rod and a strut on driver's side right here. And I just put this on, so it should come up pretty easily. So yeah, let's fix all this. Starting to pull this piece of junk all apart. As soon as we undid those bottom bolts to that strut, the whole thing kicked out. This thing is yeah, she's a bit bent there, guys. A bit bent. Look at that thing right there in the frame. What are you doing there? You're gonna leave. So now we take all these parts here, the strut, the tie rod, and we have to put them inside of this thing. Again, super easy swap, guys. We're just gonna pull this out. 2 bolts, 1 bolt. We're going to turn the steering all the way this way, cut the boot off, do all that fun stuff. So let's get this replaced. So we got all this put back together. We got the other strut out of that wagon just in case to have as a spare. This one right here though, fortunately with how twisted that is a Sienna spring in there, so we will be keeping that. We have to tighten up all these bolts, but then I just remembered that this car has absolutely no brakes, and I think I found out why. Can you guys see that? So we're going to be cutting that off, putting a new rubber line, and going to be trying to run all new brake lines on this thing. I don't know if we're going to get it done today, but and I'm starting to see all the places this car is being bent, which isn't overly nice. So the rules do say I can plate it up, so I'm going to throw some plates on it, that's for sure. But first things first, we need to be able to stop in the ring, and I want all these bolts tight, and I did remember to put the axle nut this time. So we're going to go cut some pieces off that Camry wagon and try putting them on this. You guys are not going to believe it. The Toyota Camry wagon is the vehicle that keeps giving. Not only did it give us a strut, which I still have to do up all these bolts, so don't forget, Zach. It gave us an axle nut now and a tie rod. Now it just gave us pre-made brake lines. Guys, that Toyota Camry wagon, you guys, don't get that Camry. That was a horrible trade for the Buick. Screw all you guys. That car's been fantastic. So now we pretty much have this car done. The only thing I want to do is I want to tighten those bolts, cut this old brake line off, and then if I have time on Saturday or Sunday, we are going to put repair plates, guys. She's bent. You can clearly see she's bent. If the promoter is watching this, she is bent. That means I can put repair plates. And repair plates we are going to put. So yeah, let's get some repair plates on this thing. Going to check the rules tonight. I'm pretty sure we're allowed 4 4x4 repair plates per frame rail, but they must be on bends. So we're going to try to figure out where the bends are, note them in this video or the next video tomorrow, and then put them on. And we're going to be using our new welder. I'm going to be doing a video on that. Probably be after this, but we'll do a review on that welder. Alright guys, thanks for watching. We got this car pretty much done, and we'll see you back here again tomorrow here on Zach's Workshop.